Thomas, this comment came in from one of our viewers, and we were curious how you would respond. Guys, I'm so scared. There are a certain amount of movies I want to create, and I figured the best route to start would be with screenwriting, but I just wish I had a guide or something for the journey. Seems like people really spend years doing so much work and only have results after maybe a decade. I'm not sure if I want to be a screenwriter, but I do know that I have movies I want to make. Help. What advice can y'all give me?
Well, I think that I don't want to ever be discouraging to somebody who's interested in film, but I think it does take us a special kind of determination to sustain. You know, like we have people who, of course, struck gold immediately with a movie or script or whatever, but that's not normal. Most of us that are working in Los Angeles have put in 10 years before something even remotely real concrete happens as far as making your own movie or editing even a film where you're the lead editor or something like that. You know what I mean? Like it is a climb. But in that sense though, I don't know if that's untrue for any other industry either. I think that there's just maybe this sense of la la land, kind of for lack of a better term, where you're like, yeah, of course we all want to do this. We all have ideas and movies and things that we want to do. But if somebody isn't willing to put in that time and effort to it, then if you're timid about your ability to get there, then you either have two options. You either start writing one script and see if you're any good at it, pass it along to people and get feedback and go from there. But that process of writing a script is going to take at least 2 years probably on your first pass. And second, then it's like, you can at least do that without moving to Los Angeles to see, before you decide to jump right in, because it's expensive. It's all about networking and who you know and what your last project was. And there's a lot of egos and all sorts of things that you have to kind of fight. And I get that that's not for everybody. And frankly, it's not for most of us, but it's part of the deal. So it takes a lot of perseverance to kind of keep going. And if you're not sure if you want to do it before you even begin, then I think that really you probably shouldn't do it, and don't waste your time. But if you believe that you really have a knack for something and you have a vision or a voice that's unique, then go for it and make sure that you just plan for it to be a long road. Make sure that that's something that you're really willing to invest in, because it is a sacrifice to some extent too. But it is possible at the end of a decade, let's say. It doesn't have to take that long, of course, but I made my first film out of film school, and then it took me over 10 years to make another one, to give you some example. I'm not upset about that. I've had so many experiences as an editor and other jobs that have not only been fulfilling, but have led to my experience really growing and allowing to learn from others who have been doing this for a long time. And that's really invaluable as well. So part of it is just don't expect to start at the top, because there's a lot of people that have been doing it for a lot longer than you. And there's always something to learn.
Great. What about, I don't expect to start at the top, but I want to cut it in half to 5 years. How can I hack the system? How can I game it?
If you find out, let me know. I mean, realistically, it's just you have to love what you like, the idea of working on movies, not even making your own, in order to do it. If it's only I just want to make my own stuff, then stay far away from Los Angeles and get your crew together and do it on your own, and then take a crack at the film festivals and see if you get any traction. But that would be my advice anyway. I just think that trying to cut corners and things like that, it's I mean, if I had the ability to just cut my success in half so I could get there further or faster, I mean, of course we would all be doing that. So I don't know how to answer that other than, be sure that you want to do this stuff.
What advice would you have given to Thomas Verrette 15 years ago?
Probably the same. I mean, like, I knew that I was in it for the long haul, but I think that what's interesting for me is how much I've changed since, like from 15 years ago to where I am at now. I think that I think I definitely drank the Kool-Aid of like, oh yeah, I made a movie and now I'm ready to make another one kind of thing. But it was almost like the moment I got to Los Angeles, I was like, nope, I got to figure out how to pay for the rent that I just got for this like place. And it was also during the recession, like, and nobody was paying anything. Everybody was like getting 3-month internships that might hire you on, and then you'd be lucky if they did that. So my priority really early on changed to survival mode kind of stuff, and getting the best jobs I could. So the advice I'd give myself is keep at it and keep that determination to get there, which I did. So but I think the interesting part for me is how maybe my mindset changed over time because of the experiences I've had, where I'm less racing and I'm more going at my own pace, if anything. The stamina changes slightly, but that doesn't mean the determination changes. I still want to go where like my dreams are still the same, but how fast I need to get there has changed. Let's say between when I was a kid and where I am now. And I think that's just because I'm older. I have enough experience I also have other kind of, aspects to my life where my film wasn't the only thing and everything, where now I have, my dog and my girlfriend, and like I was sort of like, it's just like natural that you kind of are like, I want to balance my life out a little bit. And I am happy if it takes an extra 5 years or 10 years for me to get to wherever my end goal is, because in fact, I don't even really know what that is anymore. So it's making movies, but is it making a Lord of the Rings? I don't know. I would probably love that, but realistically, I'm just like kind of like happy making movies and being involved and if I get a shot every once in a while to like direct a film that I really believe in, then I'm going to take that. But I also really believe that I don't need to direct every movie that I want to make. And that's maybe something that's different than I was when I was 15, where I was just all about directing and stuff. I think the industry itself has changed me quite a bit, but also I find value in all these other things too. I think it's cool. So yeah, I guess to wrap it around, I would tell myself, be open to all types of opportunities except for reality TV, which is what I ended up. Early on, I told myself I wasn't going to do that, and I'm glad I didn't, because I saw people get kind of pigeonholed into that direction, and I did not want to go down that road just for money.